Hey, up viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to Sir, You're Being Hunted. Now, originally this was going to be episode 416, but actually by the time this video goes out it'll be more like episode 418 in my Sir, You're Being Hunted playlist, because of course, the last couple of days, before this video came out, you've had a couple of little bit of extra bonus Sir content here on the channel. So first, of course, you had the little update on the 1.5 release for Sir, which is now rolled out. I'm recording this on the evening of 1st of September. The update has just gone live, pretty much, for Classic Sir, You're Being Hunted. We're now in version 1.5 of the game, and the graphics are looking nice and crisp, in fact. So, yeah, basically I'm back here on my map, where I was doing the terrain experiments and all that. So, yeah, I mean, technically this is obviously a bit of an out-of-date map now that we're in this version of the game, but it's going to be fantastic. You can already see, obviously, the kind of improvements, both in terms of the general look of the game, the fact that obviously you'll be seeing the UI at the moment, how, it's just a visibility one, unless I click one of the things that I have, obviously equipped to one of my key slots. So we have one more island that we're basically going to clear out, the North Island. We're just going to complete it, just for the hell of it, So, man, it's fantastic to actually be here now, with Sir getting some new life breathed into it. So, this is exactly really what the game needed, just something to kind of give it a bit of something new. I mean, look at how pretty it looks now. And I've got it on the ultra graphics preset that's now part of the game, which is great. So the game looks absolutely fantastic. And obviously as well, you'll have seen the 1.5 pre-release multiplayer play session video that I released not too well. I released it actually just a day or two ago, as of when I record this. But that was good fun, playing alongside the devs from Den of Thieves, plus Jim Rossignol, Ticklish, who's a streamer who's done speedruns of this game, and of course numerous other folks as well. So that was great fun, like I say, and of course with the 1.5 update, it should now be easier for you all out there to actually run your own servers, because that really was, I think, one of the main things that Den of Thieves wanted to actually fix in the in this update to the game. They wanted to kind of overhaul the multiplayer a bit and actually make it sort of easier for people to actually host their own servers, because that's the thing, ever since the official Big Robot game servers went down, it's been difficult for people to actually host servers of their own to replace those, because previously the process was apparently quite fiddly and just a bit hard to actually do. But Den of Thieves have hoped, now that with some tweaks to that, should be not too much of a problem now for people to go out there and actually be able to host servers of their own. So, indeed, what I'm hoping is this could potentially mark the start of doing some fresh multiplayer content in the Sir series, because I think that would probably, I don't know, maybe help to vary up the series a little bit, since it's been a long, long time since I ever did any actual multiplayer content in Sir. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll see a bit more on that front for a while. But thing is, just before I recorded this, like I say, it's 1st of September, if you remember from the 1.5 update video that I released, 1st of September was basically the date until the media embargo on any news about Sir 1.5 or Sir Reinvented. That was when the media embargo was meant to last to, and now, that's passed. And when it did pass, we had a little stream on Steam, the devs. I went and joined them on there, and a load of other Sir, You're Being Hunted fans and whoever else, was there, just basically to listen to their announcement. So it was good to go along, like I say, to this stream that they did on Steam, because they gave a little bit more information, in essence, both about the 1.5 update, about how you can run multiplayer servers now for Sir, You're Being Hunted. And as well as that, they gave a little bit more detail, not too much, but a little bit more, on some of their plans, essentially, for Reinvented. So You're Being Hunted Reinvented Edition, basically the new Sir game that they're working on. And basically, Sir Reinvented, from what they've said, well, from the minor details they've given, essentially is going to be sort of a remastered version of Sir Being Hunted with a few new additions to it. So they're going to kind of preserve, essentially, the core of Sir Being Hunted as a game. They're not going to kind of, change the basic gameplay. It's going to be much, the same in terms of how it plays. But in terms of what they're kind of hoping to add to the game, essentially they briefly mentioned this idea of like a perk system, like a trait system, something like that. Obviously at the moment, there aren't many details on what exactly that will be necessarily, or what it will include, but it sounds very, very interesting. So in essence what I think they're trying to go for is customization options in the game, in essence. Whoop, where was that fucking... there it is. Friggin' Scarecrow, get the heck out of here. Get over that. There we go. Break. Shit. I broke line of eye. I broke line of sight before I got away from him. Where'd he go? Has he disappeared? I hope so. I hope he's disappeared. Hopefully he's broken line of sight and all that. I was pursuing a load of wisps just then, but I've lost track of them now. They were going over this way though. Oh, hang on. Here you go. Here's the... it's an unguarded one. Well, actually, I hear robots nearby. Maybe they just got distracted momentarily. Hang on, if I swoop in and get this one before anyone comes. There we go. Are they up on top of the... oh, hang on. They were over there. Oh, no, you don't. Get out of here. Now, you probably just saw, actually, just then, when we saw that smoke column. The smoke columns have apparently been brightened a bit, so that they stand out a bit better. Because apparently in the... well, when Sir, back in the day, 2012, 2013, when it was in development, the intention was for the smoke columns of the device pieces to be a bit brighter than they actually turned out to be. That's something that Den of Thieves have apparently fixed. And, that's essentially what Den of Thieves have really tried to do with the 1.5 update. They've really tried to patch out a lot of the bugs that old Sir actually had. So, some things which you might remember from... past episodes here on the channel from Sir Being Hunted, we might not be seeing anymore some of these old bugs and things. So apparently one of the big ones that has been patched out, do you remember how sometimes when you customised your islands, in fact actually not just when you customise your islands, sometimes I think this happened during default terrain generation as well. Do you know how sometimes you could get islands where you'd have things like landlocked little ponds and lakes, but sometimes the jetties would actually generate along those, and so you'd effectively have essentially kind of boats which couldn't theoretically actually go anywhere to any other island, and yet you could take them to another island even though they were completely hemmed in by just by the land. Well, that's a thing that's basically been patched out to kind of keep it realistic. And something else which they have patched to try and make sure it doesn't happen is jetties sometimes spawning way out in the water where you can't actually reach them, because that is rare, but it does happen sometimes. And so it's good to know. That's it's just Den of Thieves. They've been working very, very hard over the last sort of few days, particularly over the last week, to basically patch out all the bugs to try and just tighten up the game a bit. And it's really, really good. They've done a real good job, And the thing is, the Steam store page now for the Reinvented edition of Sir, the new Sir Being Hunted, is up. You can find it if you search for it. And Reinvented edition is basically, their target is to have it released about February 2022. And in the meantime, you can basically go and wishlist the game on Steam, which, you know what? I'm going to kind of push that, and I'm going to say you should definitely go and wishlist Reinvented, because the thing is, essentially wishlisting a game, it's kind of like liking it on YouTube. The algorithm basically then... oh god, I'm getting gas from my tea. The algorithm basically then knows to kind of push it up on the sort of Steam store page, so it gets, exposed to a wider audience and all that. Also, I really like the fucking dramatic terrain around here. It's a bit foggy, so you can't really see it. That's something else, actually, that's been worked on for the 1.5 update, the fog, to make it a bit sort of thicker and denser. So it certainly looks quite interesting, doesn't it? And yes, we've got some very interesting hilly terrain around here. Now, we did have some wisps moving around before in this location, but I hear poachers. Oh god, I do hear the landowner. He's very, very close. We need to watch out, don't we? Okay, so yeah, if you get the chance, definitely go and wishlist the So You're Being Hunted Reinvented edition on Steam, just to kind of try and push it up, to make it, increase in visibility on the Steam store page and get it to a nice big audience, because Lord knows, Den of Thieves, like I say, have put in a lot of work, so the more we can sort of push for it, the better. Just in terms of, advertising the game, advertising its existence, that it's going to be coming out, in case there's any sort of old So You're Being Hunted fans out there who haven't played the game in a long time, haven't been up to, keeping up to speed with So You're Being Hunted content, whether on YouTube, on Twitch, or wherever, if they case, they haven't been sort of keeping up with that for a while, and who therefore might not be aware of the current developments, things that are going on. So yeah, good stuff in that regard, I do think. But what was also actually quite interesting, I'm just going to go back and talk about that stream I just mentioned a moment ago that we had this evening on Steam. One of the things we actually saw on that, Den of Thieves actually got a streamer named Ticklish, who I think I mentioned a moment ago is a speedrunner of So You're Being Hunted. I think he's on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. And his sort of record is he completed a game of Sir in something like 41 minutes, which I don't think is the world record. I think the world record is something like 39 or 38 minutes, somewhere around there. But 41 minutes is still pretty fast, still pretty impressive. And basically, Ticklish was actually doing a speedrun as part of this stream of the game. And it was fascinating actually watching him, because he gave a few sort of hints and tips in terms of how you can sort of go about doing speedruns in So You're Being Hunted. Now, I have tried a speedrun of the game before, but it was a long, long time ago, and it didn't really go very well for me. I basically died pretty quickly. But admittedly, when I tried my speedrun all that time ago, however long it was, I didn't really know what I was doing, because here's the thing about me, I'm not a speedrunner type of gamer. I don't speedrun things. I like to take my time with them. But, maybe speedrunning, maybe that's a challenge I could do here on the challenge. Maybe I could do like a big, extra long episode of Sir, where I just see how long it takes me to actually speedrun through the game. Maybe if I, have like my phone with a timer on it, and I just sort of set it off once I load into a map. And that way we'll see kind of how long I can actually take to beat the game. Because, some hints that I actually picked up on when I was watching Ticklish's stream, Ticklish's speedrun during the stream, there's some interesting stuff to bear in mind. So, for example, what he was doing, for instance, was even if he was picking up device pieces, he wasn't immediately returning them to the standing stones, which makes sense. Because, of course, when you return pieces in this game, it kind of advances things in terms of what robots are spawning. So really part of the trick with So You're Being Hunted speedrunning is actually don't return the device pieces immediately until you're actually ready to deposit them and actually complete the game. So try and search for a building near the standing stones where you can basically store tons of device pieces, or a set of buildings. And another thing he kind of recommended with speedrunning is for a couple of your islands, try setting them to industrial biomes, because the industrial biomes, of course, you get the better buildings and things, and in industrial biomes you also tend to get the whatchamacallums, the big factories and the steel mills. And in those, you tend to get a lot of dynamite, and typically you'll get an axe as well. And so he recommends, using axes during speedruns of So You're Being Hunted. I should be a little careful raiding the building, since there is friggin' robots are shooting at already. But yeah, obviously dynamite is essential. Well, not essential, but is very beneficial for So You're Being Hunted speedrunning. Because the thing about it is, dynamite is a great way of quickly taking out robots who are guarding device pieces, or for taking out robots who are in your way. God, look at how fucking dramatic this terrain is, though. Because, like, we are actually higher up than the balloon on top of this hill. Look at how low down that balloon is. Wow. Damn. I'll say I really like the lens flare now on the sun as it goes down. I did have that wisp that I saw before, but now I've completely lost where it was. Oh wait, there's one down there. Hold on. Just need to follow it, and it'll show us where we need to be. Okay, go over here. Towards this bad boy. And then we can just follow it, find that final device piece, and then hopefully get the terrain experiments actually completed. Yeah, we've got some interesting terrain generation on this island, haven't we? Fantastic. So you see, actually, it was worth doing these terrain experiments, wasn't it? Okay, Red, pay attention to where that wisp is going, otherwise you're going to lose it again. Oh, man. So yeah, like I say, I think I might be up for doing another speedrun attempt, an actual second one, and see if I can actually do better than I did in the past. There's the fucking device piece that we need. All this time, I lost it. Alright. Let's go down here and see if we can deal with these and he said these guys even. Let us try putting an alarm clock, maybe down there, yeah. Send them round over the crest of the hill. That's what we'll try. There is a dog around there. Something else you might notice, of course, with 1.5 is that the water in the game now looks a lot better, and you can see sort of around the edges of the land there's now a bit more of like a discernible sort of beach, to put it that way, in terms of the lighting and the water, so you can see where it's getting shallow. And the thing is, the water has a bit more reflectivity to it. So that's something else which is new, of course, in 1.5, and which looks really splendiferous. So it's really good. So as you can tell, a lot of my chatter in this episode is going to be related to the update, which, you know what, makes sense, since we're in that now. Okay, let's run for it. Hopefully they are out of sight and out of mind. Okay, here we are. Oh, God, give me, there we go, got it. Right. Whoa, Jesus. Something else I also learned from watching Ticklish's speedrun about the sea beast. Basically, the first time the sea beast crops up, if you're in the water, he's actually harmless. He won't directly attack you. It's when he pops up a second time, if you're still in the water, that's when he's dangerous. Oh, look at that water, though. It looks so much better now. I'm just kind of curious. Oh, that's dark in there now. Okay. Let's not get too far down in there. But yeah, this stream that I mentioned that we had on Steam this kind of evening as the 1.5 update rolled out, you know, what was also kind of cool about it, we had a load of people who were from Big Robot and who had worked actually on So Being Hunted originally. They were in there, so Jim Rossignol was there, James Carey was there. There was a chap called Tom who was also there, who worked on a lot of the programming in So Being Hunted back in 2012, 2013. And, you know, it was interesting actually when they were there, because they talked a little bit about So Being Hunted's original development and some of the things that they hoped to do, or some of the things that they had in mind when they were actually developing the game. One of the interesting things was about actually nighttime in the game. There was actually a bit of a debate apparently within Big Robot about how sort of dark the game should get, with some people apparently thinking, I assume, that it should have been really dark, and other people still thinking that maybe it should have been more like this. Which, yeah, eventually I guess this kind of won out. I mean, it's still pretty dark, you know. But apparently, you know, in sort of different biomes, it's actually slightly darker than in others. So apparently in the rural biome, it actually is darker in there than in, I think, the mountain biome, things like that. Which I'll admit is something I don't think I'd ever really noticed before in So Being Hunted. But which is actually sounds quite interesting. So yeah, I feel like I learned a few things in that stream. It was good to go and actually tune in and just listen to the things that were actually being said. It was good stuff. God, I cannot get over how good that water now looks. in this game. It looks so much nicer, I think, than actually it did previously. So a testament there to how well Den of Thieves are actually doing. Alright, so now that we're at the jetty over here, we're going to head back to the centre. We're going to deposit these final pieces, and hopefully we won't get killed in the process. Something else that has been fixed in terms of bugs, apparently, and I'm not surprised by this, apparently it was possible sometimes for you to die during the ending cutscene if robots closed in on the standing stones and actually shot you to pieces, but that's apparently been edited out. So right, so here we are, okay, and we can end the terrain experiments, I do think. And then, of course, in the next episode, who knows where I'll move on next. Maybe I'll do another sort of full playthrough this time, just so we can, you know, try each biome on a different island and maybe just sort of see, you know, the full extent of the new and improved graphics in Seabees Being Hunted. That could be a thing. Or who knows, maybe I'll have another go at speedrunning. We'll see how I feel, basically. I'm sure it'll be quite good. Okay, we shouldn't be too far to the standing stones, though, at this point. It's very quiet around, though. Well, I say that, and then there's freaking Scarecrow and loads of hunters over there. Yeah, it definitely does feel a bit sort of darker, because I think this was a rural biome, for the most part, wasn't it? This one that I set it to. Oh, here we are. Okay, I was wondering where the riders were, because I couldn't hear them, but I just saw one, yeah, over there. There he is. Okay, let's deposit these pieces. And let's get this terrain experiment challenge complete. Boom, boom, boom.
Sir, you've done it. I'm bringing the device up to speed now. I hope you won't consider this impertinent, sir, but I'm amazed you survived. Hang on. We'll have you out of there in 3, 2, 1.
I love that bang sound when it activates like that. It's a very powerful noise. And there we go. Done. Let's have our stats over here, shall we? 1 hour, 31 minutes and 9 seconds. That's my current record for how long I can complete Serim. 2 robots slain, 3 bandages used, 20 food eaten. Not bad. I'm upper class, you see? I'm good. Well, there you go, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that episode of Seabees Being Hunted, and hope you're definitely looking forward, of course, to Seabees Being Hunted Reinvented. Like I said before, definitely go wishlist it on Steam. You know, go and show it some attention. I'm sure it's going to be a great game when it gets released. And who knows, when it does get released, you know what that might mean, ladies and gentlemen? That might mean the end of Seabees Being Hunted Classic on the channel as we move over to a brand new game. You know, who would have thought, eh? I wouldn't have thought back in 2012, 2013, when I first started playing this game on the channel that, you know, we'd come to this point now in 2021. Wow, there you go. So Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. If you enjoyed, don't forget, leave a like, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. I hope you'll join me for the next episode soon. Goodbye, everybody. It's just a great big fucking rocket over here. What's the deal with this thing? Just sort of wandering around. Okay, nothing there. There's the V1 down here. With another console for it. It's like the launch track. Do anything with the console? It's making very sci-fi noises. There's like a bridge thing over here that doesn't do anything, or what? Is there a point to it? Huh. No, it doesn't seem to go anywhere or do anything. Maybe it'll open up later. Platform over here, and you've got these flying saucers. It says Vril. Wasn't Vril something that... there was a guy who wrote a book, and he had the term Vril in it, or something like Vril Society? Is another kind of common conspiracy theory thing.